Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bina Bardwaj, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. I look forward to giving you details about science and to answer any questions you may have. Firstly, before we start, I'm being assisted by the marketing department, who will be manning our chat channel today. If you have any general questions, you can ask them throughout the presentation. Just pop them in the chat box and they will reply. I will be taking specific questions at the end. We plan to run for about half an hour for the presentation, with 15 minutes for questions at the end, so we should be finished in 45 minutes. I hope you can all hear me and see my presentation on the screen. Please let me know on the chat if you are having any problems. We will try to sort this out. Okay, to the science department. My name is Bina Bardwaj, and I am the head of science. I'm also one of the biology teachers here at Strode. The students are able to do a variety of study programs based on the outcomes ranging from a level 2 course to a level 3 course, both academic or vocational. That means A level or BTEC courses. That could be in applied science or it could be in health and social care. The science block houses 5 laboratories, both 2 on the ground floor and 3 on the first floor. And all the laboratories are supported by 2 of our technicians and the practicals are delivered by the teaching staff. Each member of staff is an expert in their field who stretch and challenge our students to take part in a variety of activities. In addition, we have a variety of extracurricular activities to support and enhance the learner experience. And I'll talk to you about the kind of extracurricular activities that we do. Moving on, in science, we offer both the academic route and vocational pathways into science and health and social care. The examining board for all the A levels in science is OCR, which is one of the popular ones, or AQA or Edexcel. But at Strode's, we offer OCR. And the teaching is taught in 4.5 hours per week for each of the subjects, and the subjects we offer at A level are biology, chemistry and physics. The vocational courses at level 3 include the applied science, and this year the applied science we're offering is called the extended certificate and at the diploma level. So there's two levels, extended certificate and diploma. The level 3 in health and social care is only offered at the extended certificate level. And I'll talk to you about each of those courses in a minute. At the level 2 courses, we offer combined GCSE combined science, which basically allows students to gives them an opportunity to resit their GCSE if they didn't quite make the grade that they needed to progress on to a level 3 course. We also offer the level 2 certificate in health and social care, which is a vocational pathway where students sit a mixture of 2 exams, and also most of the content is assessed through assignment work. There is an expectation that students obtain some work experience during their course of study with us at all levels, whether it's A level, level 2 or level 3 vocational. And that is to support their progression onto the next phase of their career. And the work experience that they take, we encourage the students to find their own work experience. And we also at level 2 will, in some cases, deliver study work experience programme either in February or later on in the year, where it builds in quite nicely in one of their units that we teach. In addition to that, we also, students take part in a variety of extracurricular activities, one of which is called STEM Day. And the STEM Day is an opportunity for students across not just science departments, but also maths and computing and sports science and DT to come together to take part in a variety of activities. And some of the activities that we put on during STEM Day are masterclasses that are delivered by university staff on some of the current up-to-date topics that they're working on. We also get employers such as the Thames Thames Valley Water come in. We've also had the pharmacy people come in. We've had nurses come in. We've had the fire brigade people come and talk. We've also had the air ambulance come in. So we've had a lot of variety of people from employers come in to talk to students about careers, and they give them the opportunity and hands-on activities to let them know what it's all about and what kind of careers they can go into. With that, we've also had Kingston University come in and do a lab in a lorry where they can experience some lab techniques based in a lorry where they wouldn't be able to get the opportunity in a normal school or college laboratory. And students find that really useful, because one of the other activity is, because we get students from schools coming in as well and across our other sites to take part in. So it's an opportunity across the whole college sites and local students, schools to come in and take part in, where they can come and quiz, and they take part in what's called the networking, and they quiz the employers and the ambassadors from the variety of workplaces and HE to talk to them about careers. So before they embark on filling in the UCAS references, it gives them a more wide variety of view of the career pathways that are available. In addition to that, we offer in chemistry, one of the things that students are challenged to enter, and particularly the more able students, into the Chemistry Olympiad, which is nationally taken, and the students are then selected, providing they reach a particular goal, into international competitions. Similarly with that, we've had students enter into the Intermediate Biology Olympiad, which is taken in June, and most of our students are entered for that. And those that do well in that are then selected to take part in the British Biology Olympiad, and both the chemistry and the biology Olympiads take place between last week in January and the first week of February. And it's really important because it gives them the opportunity to write that they've done this in their UCAS references when they start applying for university or other careers. And we've also students have taken part in intergroup challenges between groups to see which group is better than the other, both for biology and for chemistry. And most of our students who do that are then they take part, and the winning groups get some sort of prize at the end of it. The students, in addition to the Chemistry Olympiad, also take part in what's known as the Royal Society of Chemistry National Analysts competition, where our top students are selected and are then taken to a college or a university where students from a variety of schools then are given activities there which they have to follow and assessed on, and then they are awarded, and the awarding team then takes part in international competitions as well. So our students who were very close this year to doing that just missed it by a couple of points. We have, during our normal lesson delivery, we also have talks from employers coming in to talk to them about careers and also about the things that they're working on at the moment. In our vocational science, applied science courses, the students are given the opportunity to take part in what's known as the Forensic Crime Scene Day, where a crime scene is set up for the students and they have to act as if they were investigating the crime scene, and then they go away and test for the samples, whether it's a hair particle they've found or a blood sample they've found, or blood splatter, and they go away and investigate to see who the culprit is and who is the suspect. In addition to that, in biology, the students go on a 3-day residential course to fulfil some of the requirements, experimental requirements of the course. Some of the in addition to that, they also go on to conferences at university, which can be the Rare Disease Day, which is at Royal Holloway. Some of our health and social students go on to the London Zoo, or we get students, employers like the NHS coming in and the air ambulance coming in to give them a talk. Funnily enough, we just had one talk today from the air ambulance people to come talk to our health and social care students. Our physics students also take part in master classes at Royal Holloway. They're also been taken to Thorpe Park and are involved in a variety of activities. So these are just some, to name a few, that the students actually take part in. So it's meaningful. They can see science in action. Students that study science are also expected to have their own personal protective equipment in order to keep them safe, particularly this year. So we expect them to buy their own lab coat and their own goggles at a cost which they can buy. We can order them in college and they can collect it from college. So anybody enrolling on a science programme will need to be able to purchase their own PPE. Those students that study A levels carry out a series of 12 experiments called PAGs, and that's both in chemistry, biology and in physics, so that they can achieve the practical endorsement at the end of the 2 years. Most of the vocational courses have a large element of practical activities, and these practical activities are assessed and covered both in external assessments, whether it's an exam-based paper, and an internal assessment, whether it's practical-based and through assignments. And that's what the departmental offers. Now I'm going to talk to you about each of the subjects, and the first one is A-level Biology A. It's A because there are 2 options at OCR. The second one is A-level Biology B, which is not the one we do. We do A-level Biology A, which gives them an overall holistic view about both plants and animal biology. And the entire course is built around 6 modules. The first module consists of the development of practical skills in biology, and this module's integrated with the other 5 modules. And in year 1 of the biology course, we deliver units 2, 3 and 4. And after the summer, when they've sat their progression exam, we then start module 5. There are 3 papers that are sat at the end of 2 years in biology. Paper 1 is known as Biological Processes, and that assesses modules 1, 2, 3 and 5. And you're probably wondering what these contain. The second module, which is Foundations in Biology, builds on cell structure, enzymes, and so forth. And paper 2, which is Biological Diversity, again assesses modules 1, 2, 4 and 6 this time, not 5. And 6 is a second year module. 5 and 6 are both taught in the second year. 6 consists of genetics, it consists of populations and sustainability, and the practical endorsement is, and the practical questions are integrated within these papers. The last paper is unified biology, and this assesses all the modules, so it's synoptic, which means questions can be asked from every single module and integrated into the paper. Paper 1 and paper 2 consist of 2 hours and 15 minutes, and paper 3 is hour and a half. With paper 1 and paper 2, you need to, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and you get both multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and level response questions for assessing continuous prose. Now, all students must complete all components of modules 1, 2, 3 and 4 to be awarded the OCR A level in biology. Okay, and they also need 5 and 6 in their module for the second year modules to get all 6 modules. The practical endorsement, which is the PAGs, is although it's not exact, it's examined in the papers, it's endorsed, which means it gets a separate certificate to say they've achieved the practical component, but it doesn't affect, it doesn't show up in their certificate as an A level, but the questions are asked about the practicals in their A level question papers. Similarly, for A level chemistry, which is chemistry A, there are 6 components, and it's based on the same criteria as the biology. But there are 3 papers. Papers 1 and paper 2, again, are 2 hours and 15 minutes, and they have both multiple choice questions and longer continuous prose questions and short answer questions as well. So you've got the foundation papers, modules 2 and module 3 are the basics units that are taught, bringing in students from GCSE. So there's a transition from GCSE into A level. So it gives them an idea of bringing those who've done just the separate sciences and those who've done the combined science to one, so they don't feel left out at all. It's then built on for both physical and organic chemistry in the second year. If we have a look at the A-level physics, it's A-level physics A. Still, there are 6 modules. Module 1 and all 3 sciences is the practical component, and they all have to do the practical endorsement to be able to get it at the end of the year. Anybody who doesn't complete one of the 12 PAGs does not get their endorsement at the end of the 2 years. That's usually highly unlikely because we try and do as many practicals as we can, but moving forward with the present climate, we will try and do as many as we can under the present climate that we have when students come in. So again, in physics, there are 3 papers, 2 of which are 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the third paper is an hour and a half. So as you can see, the format for OCR in all 3 papers is more or less the same. If we come to GCSE Combined Science, this is something new we're offering this year. It's offered in replace of our Level 2 award in science, which is a vocational one, and it gives the students the opportunity who haven't quite made the grade for a Level 3 programme to resit their GCSE Combined Science. And the one that we offer is the EdXL. And as you might be aware already or be familiar with, that the grading system levels are from 9 to 1. And there are 6 externally examined papers, and they can be examined either at the foundation tier or the higher tier, depending upon the student's outcomes. Students have to complete all the assessments in the same tier, and these students have got to complete the assessments in May, June of any single year. So at the end of the year, the student should get 2 GCSEs from combined science. So how is it assessed? Well, there's a mixture of different question styles, and they might be really familiar with this from school, is the multiple choice questions. So the A Levels actually building on the GCSEs. So it's nothing, the style of question isn't new to them. So it's short answer questions, calculations, and extended open response questions. As you can see in GCSE, you're not getting away from the maths element, and it's same with the A level. So the A level's building on the maths element as well. So as I said, the foundation tier assesses target grades 1 to 5, and the higher tier assesses target grades 4 to 9. And that gives them the opportunity for students who have got a level 6 to be entered and be considered for a GCSE, either in biology or chemistry or physics, considering that they've got other GCSEs at the same level as well. So they still need to fulfil our entry criteria to be able to go on to an A-level programme, as well as not just getting the combined science, but they've got to get a number of other GCSEs as well. Similarly, with our level, they can either progress onto our level 3 vocational course in applied science, which can be the applied science, the extended certificate, or it can be the diploma in applied science, or they can choose to decide not to want to do the level 3, and they might want to go and do employment or go and get themselves an apprenticeship based in the science industry. It really depends on where their interests have lied and and things change throughout the year. They might have decided science is not for them and they want to do something totally different at the end of a GCSE in combined science. I'm now going to talk to you about the vocational courses. There are level 3 applied science. There's 2 types we're offering. There's the level 3 national extended certificate in applied science. It's equivalent in size to 1 A level. Okay, there are 4 units. It's taught over 2 years. And we do 2 units in the first year and 2 units in the second year. And there are 3 mandatory units, and of which 2 are external. Okay, that means 3 of them they have to do, and we select the 4th optional units that we're going to teach them. And the units, as you can see, are Principles and Applications of Science 1, and there's a similar unit like that in the second year as well. And with that, they do practical scientific procedures and techniques. Then they do a whole investigation and any project that they're interested in the unit 3. So it could be, how do we know that plants photosynthesize? What are the factors affecting it? So they could go away and investigate, or they might want to go away and investigate, well, how fast does Daphne's heart beat? Does caffeine affect their heart rate? So it's where their interest lies. It could be a physics one, or it could be a chemistry one, or it could be a biology one. And in addition to that, they do an optional unit as well. At the end, in around about January time, they sit 1 external exam, and they also have to do a practical component, and that's assessed as well within the 3-week window. So they do it in class, the teachers assess them, and then the results get taken, sent to the board. Equivalent to that, we do a national diploma in applied science, and that assesses, covers 8 units as opposed to 4. It's equivalent to 2 A levels. So it's alternative to the A level. So those students who quite don't like doing too many exams, this might suit them a little bit better. It's more hands-on. They do 2 exams in the first year, 2 exams in the second year, and with the practical assessments as well. So 6 of those units are mandatory, 3 are external. And as you can see, there's a variety of units that they can do, and these units are taught over 2 years. So we'll do the first 4 units in the first year, followed by 4 units in the second year as well. And students can go on to a variety of courses from here. Most of our units, students progress on to university, where they've taken subjects like forensic science or forensic criminology or with psychology, and they combine the vocational courses with an A level as well. So it's a variety of mixture of courses that they can take up at university. Some might do biological sciences, some do biomedical sciences. They often go to Royal Holloway or Kingston or Surrey or Reading. So there's a variety of places our vocational students can go on to. The level 2 in health and social care is a certificate. It's equivalent to 2 GCSE. It has both mandatory and optional units. 25% of the qualification is externally assessed. So units 1 and units 9 are externally assessed. Pearson's is the examining board that we do, and it's these externally assessed units are set and marked by Pearson's. And the grading criteria for all vocational units, whether it's a level 3 or level 2, runs from a pass to distinction star. Because this is equivalent to 2 GCSEs at level 2, it can be 2 Ps or 2 distinction stars, similar to GCSE combined science where you get 2 grades. Learners who don't quite achieve the level 2 grade can get a level 1 pass out of it if they have met some of those criteria that's required. At level 3, which is the BTEC Nationals in Health and Social Care, similarly or similar to the applied science, it also has both the certificate and the extended certificate. The certificate is only half an A level. Okay, it's not a full A level, it's only half an A level, where students want to take it up as an interest and therefore may want to progress into childcare or into nursing, and hence the reason why they do health and social care. What's our expectations? We expect our students to be punctual because the courses in science are quite intense. It means if they come in late, they're going to miss vital components of the lessons. Hence the reason punctuality and attendance needs to be more than 95%. Dress code, we don't mind. There's no specific dress code. There's not a uniform they need to wear. It can be casual, smart, and the behaviour we expect in our labs, because they're working in the labs in the science, there are health and safety rules that they need to follow in and around the laboratories, because most of the lessons will take place in a laboratory. So it's really important that they look after themselves and also the safety of others around them. We expect all our students to be wearing lanyards so we can identify them wherever they are, whether they're in the classroom or somewhere else in the college. We have a culture where in the classroom where there's mutual respect between the teachers and the students, and between the students and everybody else. And to be honest, there's not a problem in science. All our students get on really well, and they work really, really hard and progress on to really good universities. Some of our A-level students have progressed on to higher education into Imperial, where they study biochemistry, into UCL, where they might do chemical engineering. We've had students go into Bristol and Bath to medicine, and some of our students are hoping to applying to veterinary science and applying to Oxbridge universities as well. So there's a huge variety of courses that our students are really interested and have got places to go in. So there's always a culture of ready to learn and ready to develop. One of the things that I've also said to you is that our students actually take part in a science symposium. And what that means is they get the opportunity to do a poster presentation, a scientific poster on anything that they're interested in, and they then showcase that to parents, to staff, to schools, and to university staff. So the Royal Holloway staff, because we're in liaison with the Royal Holloway staff, where they come and assess our students' posters, and these posters are very much professionally done, as you would expect university students to do as well. We are really proud of our students in taking part in this, and they have produced such tremendous amount of work throughout the year. As I said, there are trips and visits across the college. Students take part in lots of clubs and societies. We've got the environmental officers as well, so our science students take part in that outside their science lessons, and they also take part in competitions. There's also the extended project qualification CPQs that they can take part in, which is also equivalent to an AS, and outside the normal A levels as well. Some students might want to take up a fitness course, or particularly if they do biology, they might combine that with sports science, or they might combine that with chemistry and maths. And some of our students this year, funnily enough, have combined it with even classical civilization and drama as well. So there's a whole range of ways in which our course students actually connect and pick up other subjects. The brightest of our students take part in what we call the Aspire programme, where there's a built-in programme for the students to train them and to open their thoughts and their ideas of Oxbridge and Cambridge entrance, and also getting them speakers to come and talk to them about that as well. Students give feedback. They're part of a student body, and they are known as a student parliament. It's really important for us in the science department that students express, and there's a learner voice, so staff can take on board the things that they might want to develop, and also how we value their feedback, and they value our feedback as well. So that's really important, because students in the science department, we have student monitors, I suppose you could like to call them, or student reps, where they will bring in and talk the opinions of the entire group. So there is continual positive feedback going on between students and staff. I am now going to end this session. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope we have given you a good insight to studying science at the Windsor Forest Colleges Group. If you are interested in applying for September, you can jump onto our website and complete your application. We will post up the link, and we would love to welcome you in September. Are there any questions that you would like to ask me? If you can post them in the chat group.
Thank you, Bina. Thank you for that. We've had a couple of questions actually come through.
Okay.
Are there any subjects that would complement science A levels?
Yes, we've got most of our students who do biology often pick up chemistry and maths, or they can pick biology and sports science is a good combination. Or if they're doing physics, they can do maths and computer science, or they can do chemistry with maths and computer science. Some of our students have also taken biology with history and chemistry. So the whole range of subjects. This year, we've also seen students that take up biology with geography and psychology. So biology and psychology are really popular as well. And some of them have also taken drama with that. So there's a whole wide field of, science and avenues. So with science, you can almost take up any other subjects, but those are the quite popular ones that go and combine with the science subjects.
Great, thank you. Yeah, another question is, could you just elaborate on maybe just some examples of how you'd mix and match those BTEC qualifications with A levels?
Yes, of course. Those students who haven't quite made the grade to do the A level in a particular subject combine, for example, the health and social care with psychology, or they can combine it with a BTEC in psychology or an A level in psychology. It really depends on what the science GCSE is, because they need to have at least a 6 in the science to be able to do the science. And therefore, if they haven't quite got that, then they go and do a vocational course. So if they want to do childcare or nursing or social care, then health and social care together with psychology and applied science is usually a good one that they'd like to combine with. The other one is a level 3 in applied science is quite popular, because most of the students, when they come in, they want to go and to be a forensic scientist. And so they usually do that with biology. So if they haven't picked up A level in chemistry, but they've selected A level in biology, they often pick up applied science. And then they combine that with another subject. It could be psychology, it could be economics, it could be geography. And with that, the interest is they either want to do criminal psychology or anything related to forensic science. I hope that's given you some food for thought in the combinations of the vocational courses, because in science they can integrate the A level with the vocational science, and they do complement each other quite nicely and go into different variety of courses.
Great, thank you. I know you have just touched on entry requirements, but could you just, I guess, go over the grades that you'd need to get to do the science A levels?
Yeah, of course. To do 3 A levels in science, you need to have a minimum of a grade 6 in either your combined science or your separate sciences. To do biology, you also need to have a level 6 in maths, and also in chemistry, and also it's a must in physics. So those of anybody who's doing A level physics should also do an A level in maths, because you need the maths to be able to do the physics. Overall, they need 5 GCSEs, and those are the ones that they need the 6s in, which are quite important. Obviously, the higher their grade they have, the better it is for them, and then the better understanding they have of the subjects as well. So although, we would like them to have the level 6 in English as well, it's not a requirement, as long as they've got they've passed their GC English language between a 4 and upwards. And if they want to do a vocational subject, then they would need to have a grade 4 in at least 4 of their GCSEs, and they can pick up, if they haven't quite got their English, or they haven't quite got their maths, then they can pick up their English or maths at GCSE. But with applied science, we'd expect them to have the maths, and then if they haven't got the English, then there's an opportunity for them to resit their GCSE in English. But for health and social care, it will be still 4 GCSEs with grade 4 or above, and then they've got to have the GCSE English, and then if they haven't quite made the 4 in maths, there's an opportunity for them they've got to resit the maths GCSE to be able to do the whole programme. I hope that's clearer?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. And just one last question we've had has come through is how many people roughly in a class?
Okay, right. Our students can vary from 15 to 22 students in a class. So it's quite variable. So on average, we have about 20 students, and that's for A levels and for vocational courses. Our vocational courses are becoming popular as well. So that's the average students in our class.
Great, thank you. We haven't actually had any more questions. I'll just put it out there if there are any. I guess we'll keep the session open for the next minute or so,
Okay.
for any of those last questions. Otherwise, it's been really helpful. We have some great resources on the website, some Year 11 resources and some summer work, which I have posted the link actually in the public forum on the chat box.
Thank you very much.
And I guess we would just, if you haven't applied yet, just to get those applications in as soon as possible so interviews can be arranged. And we look forward to seeing you in September.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing everybody.
Great, thank you very much. I'm going to end the session now, but if you have any questions, myself, I'll be online for the next 5 minutes, so feel free to put your questions there. But I'm going to end the session now, and thank you, Bina, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.